Hi everyone, my name is Alina and this is the Sleep Talks channel. Today I want to talk about relationships and insomnia. When someone struggles with sleep, sometimes not only their life is affected, but also the relationships. And this might seem scary because they don't know how to live into this kind of a new setup. And I also got several questions related to this, like how to not to lose the relationships or how to not make relationships be affected by insomnia. And I just wanted to introduce a couple of thoughts on this issue. These are just my personal opinions, not like a professional help or anything. So it's up to you how you take it or whether you want to follow it or not. Depending how you build a relationship with others, it can affect how smooth will be your recovery process. Because on one hand, relationships can create unnecessary worries and struggles, but if you manage to build them in a way that they can support you, then the whole process of recovery can become much easier and you find a lot of support. In this video, I'll be talking primarily about the closest relationships. So it is usually spouses, partners, boyfriends, girlfriends, whatever. And the first important thing I wanted to tell you, and I got this from my psychologist. She gave me a really good advice. After that, I felt much better and I looked at things much clearer, and I wanted to share it with you. So when it comes to relationships or any communication with anyone, just remember one thing, that you are 100% responsible for your actions, thoughts, emotions, and feelings, and you're 0% responsible for thoughts, actions, emotions, and feelings of others. Let it sink it in, because this is really important information. Very often people feel like they are responsible for happiness of others, of their spouses, and they take unnecessary blame for things that they cannot control. Once you understand that line where your responsibility ends, it gets much easier to see when there are things that you can do to make relationship better, but when you need to let the other part take their responsibility in the relationship as well. Sometimes people might feel guilty that they ruin the sleep of their spouses, or that they are not responding to some needs of their partners, and they feel guilty about it. And just to be clear on that, insomnia is not your fault in general, and it is not your fault how people think and feel around you. With that said, I just wanted to introduce you my take on the whole issue and how I approached building the right relationship with others, especially with my husband, so that it created a really good playground for me to feel comfortable and progress in my recovery. So first of all, it is a setup that you create with other people regarding how they treat you. Usually it happens that when person tells someone that they struggle with sleep, they sometimes start getting unwanted attention, in a way that people start asking you how are you sleeping? Are you already fine or not? And of course that it adds extra push on you. You start feeling like you're not okay, you're still not recovering, and others see that, and this might undermine the whole process. Also, it could be that people pity you, or just treat you differently, like you are somehow less, or it might create this kind of reaction in yourself. You might start feeling isolated or somehow different. Also, the people who, with all the best intentions, they might start giving you advices how to do that, okay, have you tried this supplement, have you tried the special app, or some breathing exercise or whatever. They might just set you back on that track where you try a lot of these kind of quick fixes, which actually acts counterproductively. And I think in general this kind of attitude from others is not really helpful. At least it wasn't helpful for me, and it is really important to communicate that. So what I did is that I asked people around me, like who knew, it's usually like someone from family, and I asked them, you know what, can we please not talk about it? I just don't really want to, like discuss it. It's my thing. I want to sort it out on my own. So I would really appreciate if you would treat like nothing is happening or not trying to, suggest me something. This helped me a lot because then I felt like people started treating me like just the way they did before. And for example, with friends or, colleagues, if something happens that they keep asking you and you don't feel like comfortable like just to open up to them, what I did, I was saying that I'm okay, that I wasn't telling them how my journey is going, but I was giving them the minimum information that can satisfy them. Next very important thing, and it was really helpful for me, is that I try to also educate my husband regarding sleep. And the more I started learning about how insomnia works, that is all like powered up by anxiety, it works on the principle the more you try to do, the less sleep you get. The more I shared this with my partner as well, the easier it was to understand how I feel and then to correct their behavior in a certain way. So I think maybe if you find that education around sleep and insomnia and learning how everything works is something beneficial to you, and maybe also others like your spouse can also be interested to understand how it all works, so then you will feel like you still can talk about it, but it will not be in a way that they will be expecting you to get better or something like this, so they also understand the topic. And of course, whatever you do during your recovery process, for example, if you get up at night to read or something, just maybe it's good to communicate with your partner that it's totally fine, that they don't need to kind of like emphasize it, or if this is something that doesn't bother them directly, just like not to make big deal out of it. So I think when it comes to relationship, like communication as always is like the key, the most important one, because if you don't communicate how you feel about certain things, you don't really give other person chance to help you in a way that they will behave in a way that will support your recovery and not kind of like sabotage it. So yeah, I think this was all from my side regarding like relationship. I know that I didn't cover many other things like sleep envy. I just want to give it a little bit more time just to think about how to formulate my thoughts, and then I will also do further videos on that topic as well. So I hope you find it a little bit useful. It was more of my personal experience, more of how I approach this. So if you find this helpful, I will be really glad if you share some thoughts on that, or some result or experience regarding this. And in general, I thank you all for watching this video, and of course subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, and see you soon.